Hello, and welcome back to the Fallacious Truth. Today is truly a special day as we're going to explore people who really have no business making content, especially with regards to subject that they don't understand. Now, the first lady we're going to look at seems to have an issue with anybody other than herself being noticed. Now, I understand this is an issue with the entire female species. They all, for whatever reason, have the desire to be the center of attention. This one, however, needs to be brought to attention for another reason. Aside from the blatant.
So I've got a fun little story for you about daddy privilege. You all know if you've been following me for a while. I'm just gonna clean that up real quick. Okay, you all know if you've been following me for a while that I'm a business owner. My husband has a job. I have a business, my husband has a job. Could not make that any clearer, right? Well, my bakery requires that we go buy certain wholesale ingredients at this place called Restaurant Depot every week. You've seen me do videos of it before where I'm like wearing him, or I was massively pregnant buying 400 pounds of flour and 100 pounds of butter. And like, that's a weekly thing. The list goes on and on. Like, it's a lot. So last week, on the day I usually do it, my husband had the day off and he decided to go do it for me, but he also had the baby that day. When I tell you the way that this man was treated like a hero. Mind you, those same people see me there every single week. I was recognized by one of the cashiers. She's like, hey, do you have a TikTok? Yeah, I recognize, yeah. I'm strapped up with a baby or 7 months pregnant, hauling 100-pound bags at a time of flour into the back of my Subaru. Meanwhile, I'm getting a whole lot of nothing to see here. Just a woman doing woman things, busting her ass. But my husband wears the baby and he goes to the Restaurant Depot for mommy's business. And it's, oh my God, look at you. Oh my God, you worked so hard. He said somebody walked, he said, honestly, it was a little bit embarrassing. Somebody walked past him and said, oh my God, that's a whole ass baby. Yeah, it's his. Ugh. Look more like him than me. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm walking around with somebody else's baby. He's not a hero. He's literally just a father, just a parent, doing the same shit I do every week.
Aside from the blatant and utter disrespect that she has for her child's father, she seems to hypocritically think that she is somehow worthy of some type of acknowledgement, but he isn't. And also keep in mind that by her own volition, these are things that parents just do. If the tables were turned and this had been said about her, she would have asked the individual to repeat what was said to her so she could record it and play it over and over just so she could feel more validation. Now, I've seen others react to this one, but no one, at least not that I've seen out there, really hit the nail on the head as to why men can sometimes be acknowledged for things that would be considered normal or everyday occurrences, or simply a part of being a parent. Now, on the surface, I do agree with that. As a parent, simply taking care of your child or doing your everyday tasks should really be considered as, any other day when performing your normal daily activities with your child when you have to. What I need to disagree with you with is why it happens to fathers. And the reason why it happens to fathers isn't just because of modern day womanism. It's largely because of the way men are viewed and treated in modern day sitcoms and, quite honestly, the media as a whole, the way they portray us in today's society.
Peter? Peter, where are you? What's all this?
Oh, hey, Lois. Welcome to the Pete Pad, where the dancing's hot, the drinks are hot, everything's just freaking hot.
What have you done to the attic?
Well, when I slept up here the other night, I realized what a great space it is. So I dragged up some stuff and turned it into a sweet hangout. Even made it extra awesome by stealing a real street sign.
I don't understand. What are you gonna do up here?
Mostly just burn the roof of my mouth on unevenly heated microwave burritos. Now I'm busy, so close the floor and get out of here.
These new digs of yours are pretty great, Peter. Hey, I brought construction paper and markers in case you guys want to draw breasts.
Cool. But before that, who's up for another insulation fight?
I'm in. Heck yeah!
Gotcha!
Miss me!
The degradation of fathers, and quite honestly men as a whole in today's society, are directly resulting in this behavior, and you don't even realize it. Those of you who pay attention to what's going on around you know that modern womanism has nothing to do with equality. And this video isn't going to go into why, as there is ample content out there as to why modern womanism has nothing to do with equality. I will, however, touch on it in the future, though. Today, what we're going to do is focus specifically on how modern-day society has shaped the perception of men into these brainless, mindless drones who do nothing but sit around in their man caves, drinking beer, watching a football game, or having someone wait on them hand and foot. Because modern men are incapable of performing basic tasks without the help of a woman. As a side note, we really need to bring back a man's study instead of the man cave concept. Now, this whole womanist movement has had some very unintended consequences, and both men and women are living the negative effects of it. We went from a society where men were respected for their masculinity, and women were loved and cherished for their femininity, into a culture where anything goes. You have men trying to be women, you have women trying to be men, and you have the most egalitarian of societies at the end of it all, proving unequivocally that men and women thrive in their natural roles, not in the roles that modern society assigns to us. Now, what does all this have to do with this woman's diatribe? Well, the long and the short of it is the modern view of the man that she and others like her perpetuates is the view that the man is doing something amazing by simply being a father. The modern society that you laugh at, that shows the modern man as being an absolute dumbass as a father, as a husband, as a leader, as a provider, the modern society that degrades what a man is and what a man brings to the household, is why a man can also be noticed for being a father. And quite honestly, you've got no one but yourselves to blame for it. Each time you watch something that puts down the positive male role model, you perpetuate this false narrative. Each time you purchase and support a company that puts down the father figure, you perpetuate this stereotype. I can tell you from personal experience that it is an absolute and utter embarrassment when you are called out for being a good father. Because the individual who's pointing this out is basing their ideal of what a man is based on modern sitcoms and this ridiculous girl power movement that you can do whatever you want, queen, without any consequences. And the fact that it's rammed down our throats is absolutely revolting. If we really want to stop this view of the modern man, then young men need to rise up and say that enough is enough. You need to tell this not by simply making it known with your words. You need to make this known through your actions, as your actions speak far louder than your words ever could. You, myself included, need to stop watching films that make men out to be idiots. We need to stop watching sitcoms that show men as buffoons. We need to stop helping the advancement of this womanist agenda by watching what we put our dollars into and where we spend our time. Men, you are the producers of society. You are the ones who have built this society from the ground up into what it is today. And now all it took was the forced perpetuation of the switching of the genders to start its complete and utter abysmal failure. And now it's run directly into the ground. So women, if you want men to stop being acknowledged or praised for something that you think they as a father should already be doing, which is simply taking care of their child, if you want this to happen, then you need to stop the perpetuation of the ideal of the weak man. And men, you need to break away from the societal norms. You need to break away from the sitcoms. You need to break away from the man cave, and you need to bring back the men's study. I was going to do more than one clip today, but this particular video warranted some extra attention. How this woman disrespects her husband, her child's father, how she belittles him for running her errands on his day off so she could have yet another day off to herself is appalling. Yet this is not at all surprising in today's society because this has now become the norm as to how men are treated. Somehow, men have gone from a symbol of respect, of power, of courage, of honor, and integrity to nothing more than a pushover in their own homes because society states that masculinity is toxic. Men need to wake up and realize that there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Without masculinity, without men being men, this world wouldn't exist. It's long past time that men put a stop to this modern view of the father and this modern view of men as a whole. Thank you for joining me, folks, and stay safe this coming year.